Hey everyone, it's Sarah Fleming from Prepare to Die Papercrafts, and today we're going to make this fun little card. I'm using the Merry Christmas to All stamps and the Merry Christmas thinlits. You can get these in a bundle for 10% off. And I'm using the Beautiful Baubles and whatever these are called, Detailed Baubles thinlits maybe. They also come in a bundle for 10% off. So we're going to start with a real red card base. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. And then I have a piece of All is Bright Designer Series paper. And this is my favorite piece of paper from this. And I'm just going to kind of lop off a corner. Not really any rhyme or reason to it. Just I wanted to corner it off for some reason. And it worked out for the design of the card. So we're going to go ahead and glue that onto the card base. Oh, when I started, that piece of paper was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay. So we're going to stick that on the card. And then for the inside, I'm going to go ahead and do the inside so I don't lose this piece of paper. I have a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, I believe. And so I'm going to stick that corner that I chopped off on the inside. And we'll go ahead and stamp it while we're here, and then we can have our inside done already. And I'm just putting it right in the corner there. I like the effect you get because we'll stick it in there, and when you open it, that missing corner is right on the inside for you. So let's go ahead and stamp that. I'm going to stamp Merry. This is from the Merry Christmas to All. Stamp that right up here in the middle. And then I have Christmas from the same stamp set. I'm stamping in real red if I didn't say that. And I love that you can mix and match the little capital letters and then the scripty ones. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then I've got to clean my stamp because I'm going to stamp that Merry in a different color. Clean the other one while I'm here. All right. And let's go ahead and glue that to the inside so we don't lose it, because y'all know me. I will lose it. All right. And so there our inside is already done. You have plenty of room to write something. Okay. Now I have a piece of gold glimmer paper. This is 3 7/8 by 4 3/8, and I've cut the middle out of it because it's going to be hidden anyway. So there's no reason to waste that. Oh wait, we're not doing that part yet because we've got to stamp this before we, no, we're not going to stamp it with glue. We're going to stamp it before we put it on the gold glimmer paper. Okay, so I'm stamping this little collection of baubles from the Beautiful Baubles. And I'm trying to stamp it kind of right at the top so it looks like these baubles are hanging down. It's okay if you don't get it kind of right where you want it. And I meant to do that part second because I meant to stamp all these little words first, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. So I have crumb cake here because this bokeh piece is crumb cake. And I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp on our background. So it's very light. It just kind of gives you just a little bit of extra fun in there. And I'm going to do the same with the word cheer. So I did Merry and now I'm doing cheer. And I don't have any particular way I'm doing this, except that I meant to stamp that off first and I didn't. And then I have happy. I'm going to stamp that. I think this just makes it a little extra cheery. I'm going to stamp that right there. And then I have bright. And I'll fill in some spaces with that. And I think I'll do one more right there. Okay, so pretend I stamped that red part over the words after, but it looks fine like that. And now I'm going to stamp this again on a piece of Whisper White because we're going to cut those out. Stamping it in the same, in real red. Because we're going to cut that out with the Big Shot in a minute. And I believe that's all my stamping done. So now before I bring over the Big Shot, I have the multi-purpose adhesive sheets, which I always forget to use, but now I'm finally starting to remember them. And I'm going to put, if I can get it to peel, so what you do is you peel it back a little bit, and I just want enough to cut out this word, Mary, wherever that went. It's right here. So I just need enough to cut that out. So I'm going to stick my real red paper, my cardstock, to this. I'm sticking it to the sticky part. And then put it there to kind of get it to make sure everything is sticking. And then just trim around the edge of... And these are called multi-purpose adhesive sheets, and they are in my store. And that's the little backing part that comes off. And then what we're going to do is die cut this side of it, but there will be a sticker on the back when we're done. Okay, I've got the Big Shot over here, and I have this one die that's going to cut out all of these little ornaments. I love that feature of this bundle. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I stuck both of the plates on there. Okay, so got that lined up, and I'm using my magnetic platform. Now that I have flat plates again, the magnetic platform is working so well for me. Even on the little dies, it's working well. So if you're having lots of issues with your magnetic platform, I could recommend getting new plates because I am so excited ever since I finally got new plates. Okay, so I need a white Mary, and I'm not putting the adhesive on the back of that because it is going to, we don't want the whole thing sticky because it's going to kind of overhang off of the paper, so I don't want the whole thing to be sticky. So I'm going to cut that once, and then I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to cut the real red piece with the sticker. So just make sure that where you're cutting is where your sticky sheet is. These I only need to run through the Big Shot about twice, but if you have any issues, and actually I'll run it through one more time since I have the adhesive sheet on there. But if you have any issues, just run it through a few more times, and then you could turn it to the side if you have any issues. I've not had a single issue with these Merry Christmas thinlits dies. Okay, so I have those out, and some of my adhesive backing came off when I pulled it out of the Big Shot, and that's fine. And I don't know if you noticed, but the adhesive sheet took off the little bits on the inside on the red one. So I'm offsetting these just a little bit, and the whole reason that I have the white on there is because I wanted a little bit more contrast behind the Mary. So I wanted to do Mary in red, but I needed some contrast since we're putting this on red cardstock and darker paper. So I wanted something a little bit lighter behind it to make sure that my Mary really shows up. And so I'm just offsetting it a little bit, and so now I have that stuck down, and now we're going to assemble the rest of our card. So I don't know if you noticed when I was Big Shotting, but I cut the wrong one. I meant to cut this one, but I cut this one instead. So we're going to just kind of do a little fix, and I'm going to just pop all of those up on dimensionals after I get this adhered to the card. So to adhere it, I'm actually going to adhere it with the dimensionals because that takes a lot less time than trying to stick something to the front of glimmer paper and then waiting for it to dry. So I just want to make sure that's lined up really well, and I'll start with the top. Uh-oh, I messed that up right away. Let's stick that in the corner I'm going to get 3 of the corners right now. So I skipped that corner since this is where the paper clip's going to go, and I'm going around these corners with the rest of the dimensionals. So you can see that what I did here with the dimensionals is I made sure that the dimensional was sticking to both the glitter paper and the designer series paper, because that's how I'm keeping this stuck to the designer series paper. You could also do it with glue and wait for the glue to dry, but you just really don't have to. Okay, so this is not what that's going to look like, because we're going to have to pop all of these little guys up on dimensionals. Okay, so I realized as I was putting the dimensionals on that I really, since I want these to be, you know, dimensional, I had to pop them up twice. So I've double stacked the dimensionals on each of them. So there are 2 stacked on top of each other. And so then we're just going to pop these in. That was not what I intended, but I have a feeling we're going to... Oh, did I not take the... I didn't take the backing off of that one. I tried to take the backings off before I turned back on. Uh-oh. But I think we're going to like how this turns out. And there's this one. So now they're all popped up, and they've got, and they actually have quite a bit of dimension, and I actually think I like that maybe even better. And now let's put on our paper clip. Let's see, I did the tree, I'm going to do the star this time. And we're first going to tie a bow on there with some linen thread. This linen thread takes so long, it comes in rolls now, but it takes so long to go through because you get so much of it that I still have, oh, let me put this on first, make sure I'm not putting the bow in the wrong spot. But yeah, I still have linen thread from before they ever started putting it on rolls, however long ago that was. Okay, so it's easiest if you kind of put it on a little to the side and then slide it over to the corner. And then we're going to stick our linen thread through this little top bit and tie it on. And then all we need to do is glue on our little Mary word, and then we're done. There we go there. Okay, so now I'm just going to put on a little bit of liquid glue. It's going to hang off the sides, so I'm not putting it on the farthest sides. And I'm putting it right on that line, the line of the DSP. And so, there's our card. Thanks for joining me. All my supplies are linked in the YouTube description, and those are links to my store. And if you look at my YouTube banner, I've got links to all of my blog, newsletter, and etc., etc. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye.